Hi Seed Savers Clubbers, it's Casey again. We just talked about wet seeded crops and how to know how to harvest when your wet seeded crops are ready to harvest. And now we're going to look at when your dry seeded crops are ready to harvest. So this is broccoli, very unrecognizable at this moment, but you know, a broccoli bud will then send up a little, it'll bloom and that'll make flowers. The bees will pollinate them. Out of the flowers grow these pods. This is a green one here. They grow these green pods, and then the seeds inside of this pod are ripening up right now. So they're just little green seeds in there. But then the ones that are on this pod are brown and dry and ready to harvest. So when those are ready, so basically the general rule is you're looking for things to turn brown and dry out, or turn some color and dry out, basically. So when we're ready, we like to use pillowcases to harvest our dry seeds in, and we like to use these little embroidery hoops just to keep the bag open while we're working, which we really enjoy. But you can also use a paper bag. You don't want to put these into like a plastic bag or anything like that. You want to harvest them into something where they can continue to breathe while they finish their drying process. So in this case, these ones are ready, so I can just put my bag under here and I can just clip those right in there, and the seeds will just fall right inside. And I can just keep doing that all around this plant and collect my seeds in there. And then after I do that, I will let these I can hang these pillowcases up out of the sun somewhere, kind of from a rafter that allows me to keep them away from mice and keep them safe. And so after they've dried for a couple more weeks, then I'm ready to thresh and winnow them. We'll link you to a video on how to thresh and winnow your dry seeds. But for now, we're going to just kind of wander around the field and look at how to tell when something is ready or not ready. So let's go. Yeah. So this is lettuce that's going to seed, Mantilia, one of our favorite varieties. So lettuce, when the seed is ripe, makes these little white puffballs, just like dandelions. And the seeds are right inside of there. Those little white seeds there. So usually you can go through and you can just pick these little puffballs right off your plants, one after another, and you have your seeds all saved and ready to go. Or if you're kind of more lazy than like we are, you can wait until the whole plant is mostly done. So like this plant right here, we like to wait until at least like 50 or 60% of the plant is in these little white puffball stage. And then we'll just come down here and we'll just cut the whole plant and stick it into our pillowcase. And let it continue to dry. So all these little ones that haven't quite finished up yet, with some of that extra plant material on there, the plant will take that energy and help it to ripen some of these later ripening seeds. So this one is ready to harvest for us. This one is not quite there. This will probably be another week, and then we'll harvest this one. So this is parsley here, and these seeds are just starting to ripen, but you can see, you know, these are obviously not even close to brown and dry yet. They're very green still. And these ones are starting to turn brown and dry, but they are still they still have like a glistening kind of color to them, if you can see that on the video. So we'll wait on these. And another sign is when the seed head and the seed stalk itself starts to turn brown. That's a good sign that the seed is ready. So this seed stalk here is still very green. So we'll wait probably another week on that before we'll take that. But then we'll just clip this whole little umbel here into our bags, and that's a lot of little parsley seeds right there. And then right next to us, we have this calendula right here. And so calendula, many people start saving seeds by saving calendula. So you can kind of see on here, you've got, you know, flowers in full bloom, and then then this is kind of what they do next. And then as they keep going, that's what they do next. And then as they keep drying, they get to this point. And so all of this is all seed in here. These are all little calendula seeds. And you can just pull this whole head off just like that, and you've got a whole bunch of calendula seeds. So the general rule with dry seeded crops is just to wait until they turn brown and dry in the field if you can. And as long as they've turned brown and dry in the field, then they're good to harvest. And you can just put these into something to let them dry a little bit more off the plant, and then package them up in something that can breathe a little bit, and they're good to go.